I'm Dan Larson, and this is Marvel Legends Warlock Wave Cyclops. Cyclops? What is Cyclops? Where does that come from? Cyclops? That's not even a word. I'm Dan Larson, and this is Marvel Legends Warlock Wave Cyclops in 4 minutes or less. Marvel Legends Warlock Wave Wait, Warlock? The techno-organic plastic man of the New Mutants from back in the 80s? Let's come back to that. Cyclops is a 6-inch scale figure using the Bucky cap mold from all the way back in 2012, one of the earliest and most frequently used molds in the Hasbro Marvel Legends era. That said, since 2012 it's been used for Cyclops more than it's been used for Bucky or Cap, so maybe it's time to start calling it the Cyclops mold. And that's not a bad thing. I'll take the use of a pre-existing mold all day if it means the inclusion of a hugely popular, if outdated, design like this. Recent previous Cyclops figures have relied mostly on paint treatment to define the details of his costume, but 90s Cyclops designed by superstar artist Jim Lee asks a bit more. Lee added all kinds of straps. There are straps at the tops of his boots, straps on the cuffs of his gloves and around his thighs, and of course the iconic Y-strapped suspender holding up his superhero trunks over his blue spandex pants. And you know, trunks on superheroes didn't used to bother me. In fact, I hated it when DC took him off of Superman. All that blue, whether it's Superman or Cyclops, you need to color break it in the middle. You need something. But thanks to the realism of comic book movies and maybe an aging consumer base, superhero costume design has evolved to a point where, and I hate to admit this, trunks on the outside look weird now, especially Cyclops with his high contrast blue suit and yellow trunks. That's not Hasbro's fault, they interpreted the suit properly, it's my personal taste that has changed. All those Jim Lee straps are separate pieces of plastic that have been added to the core body to make it look like they're part of his suit. It's nice to have them as physical, independently sculpted elements. Unfortunately, they aren't fixed in place with glue or even tension like the plot of X-Men Apocalypse. Feel the burn. They're relatively hard, soft plastic that doesn't have much elasticity to it, which means that if those thigh straps aren't set exactly on the widest part of Scott's thighs, they're going to slip down to his knees or up to his hips. On my particular figure, the top of the boot straps were actually on the wrong legs, so they kept sliding down to his ankles. The quick fix for this was flipping them over and switching legs. Now they sit tightly at the top of his boots, completing the illusion that they are in fact part of his boots. All of this nitpicking of the details of the costume for a figure that really is a welcome update to the previous release of this design from all the way back in 2004, a figure that still gets a ton of love from the collecting community and $30 to $40 on the secondary market. This Cyclops is better proportioned to the other recent X-Men figures, and I could not be happier about Hasbro's continued efforts to incorporate older characters and designs that may not have anything to do with the comics or movies that are happening right now. 70s Disco Dazzler is also in this wave, classic brown suit Wolverine and 90s Rogue were in the previous X-Men wave. Heck, the Build-A-Figure in this wave is Warlock, a character that in this form has been dead since the 90s. Hasbro, please, for the love of all that is plastic and posable in this world, please. Punk, rock, mohawk, 80s Storm. You already made the head. Even with the lack of paint, straps that don't sit in place, high contrast superhero underpants, this is the iconic Cyclops costume and the one that a lot of collectors grew up with as their Cyclops. Sometimes Hasbro gets it right, or at least right enough. If you just can't cram the sheer 90s-ness of this Cyclops costume in with the rest of your X-Men display, then this figure is an easy pass. But if you grew up watching X-Men on Saturday morning cartoons or spent $1,000 in quarters playing Marvel vs. Capcom, then this figure is a must-have, so buy it if you see it, and if you see two, leave one for the next collector. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a like, subscribe if you are not already a subscriber. That's how we usually say it. And let us know in the comments below if this is your Cyclops. Despite everything I just said about the superhero trunks, my favorite is still the early 80s Cyclops with the yellow pirate boots and superhero trunks on the outside. I like the Phoenix 5 Cyclops, except for that red floating V crotch armor thing. That's grounds for automatic disqualification regardless of how cool the visor is.
Got it.
That goes for everything.
Okay.